If you go to device configuration, there are things we need to do before we add a device. You need to set. First of all, if the device you want to add, you intend using the device as a capture and registration device, such that every user that is captured on this device can sync with your software and sync as a registered user, you need to set your device to enable as registration device. Then sync data to device needs to be enabled, of course, it's very necessary. Then you need to allow auto add, very necessary. And of course, you can filter resigned employees. So any employee that has been categorized as resigned is already grayed out and hidden from the device, okay? Depending on what you want. Then these are your bio data approval policy. So when an employee edits or creates himself or send mobile upload, do you want to approve as an admin before, or do you want it to automatically come in? Okay. And also the same thing with your device. When a device does an upload, how do you want it auto approve? So these are the basics. Pending here, mobile upload should be pending, batch import should be pending, device upload should be auto approved. So anytime an employee edits this information, I need to approve as an administrator. That's what this simply means. Pending simply means I need to approve before it takes precedence, before it overrides anything, right? So we set our data retention settings accordingly here. How long do you want a device to retain data? How many data should you want? How many transactions? How many commands? How many device log and upload? We set that accordingly here, depending on the storage capacity of the device we are adding to the Biotime cloud solution accordingly. So with that being said, we can submit. We are all set and ready to go. So the next thing we need to do now, I will stop sharing my screen so you can see me adding the URL, which is this highlighted URL here, is to our time attendance device. So I will stop sharing my screen now so we are able to see me adding. I will resume screen sharing once we've added the device, okay? So now what we have here is an Horus E1 device. This is a facial recognition ZKBiotime time attendance device, which is one of our very smart Android-based time attendance device. And this is what we're going to be adding. So we have several devices that work with Biotime Africa accordingly. So the first thing you need to note, adding a device to Biotime Cloud or Biotime Africa, you need to confirm that that device has the ability to be added to Biotime Cloud accordingly. Else, if it is not compatible, it will not add, it will not show on your cloud software. So now, believing and trusting that you've noted the URL of your organization that I highlighted while sharing screen, by default, the company name you use in creating your account from the onset would appear together as your URL for your cloud server. So for us, for example, we have https /test session.biotime.ng. That is our cloud server URL. So now I'll come to the device. Note, depending on what the device you're using. For example, in Horus, we have this is the menu screen. We need to go to system or comms, depending on the device you're using. Try and locate on the device, you locate comms or system setting, depending on if you're using a Linux device or if you're using an Android-based device. So if you're using ZKBiotime Android-based device, you find the cloud server setting under the system setting, okay? Under the system setting of your time attendance and device accordingly, okay? So you scroll down to where you have your cloud server setting, you open it. Now you want to click on enable domain name, okay? Click on enable domain name. turn it on. So when you click on enable domain name, it gives you the ability for you to be able to type in your URL on the device accordingly. So I've turned on the enable domain name, which you can see here. So the next thing I need to do is click on server address. Okay, when I click on server address, I need to delete the IP if I've used IP before now, and input the URL that was highlighted. In our case, the URL we are putting here will include HTTPS, what's it called? This semicolon, okay, // test session. That's the company name we created when we are setting up our company account on Biotime Africa. Test session. .biotime.ng. So I've inputted the URL accordingly. Oh, my bad. I think I should have gotten a better camera that would have captured my device clearly. My sincere apology, please. So once you input that URL accordingly on the cloud server session of your time attendance device, click OK. Note, if your HTTPS is turned off, you need to turn it on, okay? So in this case, my HTTPS is turned off, so I need to turn it on. If I turn it on, I need to reset my device, because note, the URL we're using, if you notice, it shows HTTPS, which means it's a secured site, right? So now I've turned on my HTTPS, and note, my device is connected wirelessly, via Wi-Fi, to my network, to internet. It's very important you have a device connected to internet, because this is a cloud-based solution that uses internet to work, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to restart my device, because I just turned on HTTPS. It's very important. But if HTTPS is not showing on your URL when you create your account, you need to check your certificate in your browser. Check your browser certificate, ensure that your certificate are up to date and properly updated. Your URL link should show an HTTPS, showing that it's secure. If it's not showing for whatever reason, then you can turn off your HTTPS still on the cloud server setting of the device, ensure it is turned off, else the device will not display. Okay, so we need to power on the device for the HTTPS settings that we've turned on to take effect. Okay, so the device is still coming up. So wait for the device to come up. Device is still rebooting. So like I mentioned, depending on the device you're using, if you're using a Linux-based devices like the MB460, the MB10, and several other devices, the INO1A, iClock, and a whole lot of other Linux-based devices, you find your cloud server setting in the COM, that's COMM, the COM setting of your menu, and you click on it, you see cloud server, click on cloud server, you enable cloud server, and you input your URL with the HTTP // and your URL, company name, and biotime.ng accordingly, as shown on your screen, on the screen while I was still screen sharing. So now my device is up and set. So now I need to move back to my software. Now I'll share my screen so you see what is happening. So I'll move back now to screen sharing. Okay, so now you see it. The minute I input that device, the URL into my cloud server setting, automatically it pops up on the device module of my Biotime Africa, which you can see here. So the device has automatically added itself to my cloud account of Biotime Africa. As far as your parameters are properly set right, your IP is properly set right, whether you're using DHCP or static, depending on what you want to use, and your device is connected to internet, it should pop up without you doing anything. So, like what you see here on my screen, the device has automatically been added, showing on my screen on my device module. Okay? Now, what do I need to do now? I click on this device, serial number. Now, I will make this a registration device. Click on it. Device name, I can call it whatever I want to call it. Call it department, whatever, it's fine. So just for the sake of this session, I'll call this first E1. Device IP will take, of course, my public IP. Add the device to an area. This is very important, please. So if I add this device to an area, that means it's only staff that are added to that area that will be able to clock in and clock out from that device. So for example, if we have Lagos, we have Abuja, we add the device to that area. So that means this device is meant for Lagos staff to clock in, or people in this unit to clock in. The area that you've assigned accordingly, depending on how you want your protocols and modalities to take effect, you can set that accordingly. Okay? So everything seems fine. Time zone, very important. Set the appropriate time zone, else your device will be showing incorrect time. Okay? Time zone. Our time zone we use +1. We are not using for access control, so it's just pretty much basic. I think everything seems fine. Okay, we're good. You confirm. You see, so your device status has changed from yellow. Note, before now, it was showing as yellow. Now, it has changed to green, showing that the device is up, active, and connected. Okay? So, we have our device connected accordingly. Now, we might want to go further by synchronizing our employee with our device. Click on turn this on, we turn this on, we turn this on, we turn all of them on, depending on the device you're using, and we confirm. Okay. So you see, automatically, how many users on the device, how many finger face is captured and everything accordingly. So automatically, every user that is on this device would sync with the software, as well as every employee that has been created on this software would sync with the device automatically. Okay, so now note, once your device is connected to Biotime Africa accordingly, depending on what your device you're using, you will see at the top right corner of your device, you see the connection, social connection notification logo, showing that it's connected to a cloud server. If it's not connected, it will show a red sign, but if it's connected, it will show a green sign or a ZK sign, the computer screen, depending on the device you're using, you will see it there. Okay, so that is done. So yes, another important thing you need to set is the work code. On your device model, you set a work code. Click on data, under your device module, and you click on the work code, okay? The work code is like a command that tells the device what to do, how to assign your shift accordingly. Sometimes, if you don't set a work code, you're not able to pull reports, okay? It's very important you set that. So, for example, for the sake of this session, I'm going to set work code on this device. So let's call this work code 1, 2, work code name, let's call it for the test session. Okay, confirm. So now I've created a work code. what I need to do is assign this work code to a device, to the device that has been added accordingly. Okay, so now I'm just refreshing so that it takes effect. Click on the device and we go to data and we click on work code, right? So now I click on the work code and I send to the device. Click on the device, I'll see all my devices that are added to my account under the device tab. I click on it. Okay, this is very important. It's very, very important. Else your report will not be falling in place appropriately. So this is pretty much it. Okay. Now, for every transaction that happens between your device and the software, you see it under your operation log, your transaction log, whatever change you do, you see it under your operation log. Okay. So you see, there was previously a staff that we saved on it, which is Priya. Priya is one of my colleagues in the office here. Obviously, his face has been captured on this device, right? And the minute I connected this device to my Biotime Africa account, it automatically synchronized Priya's details. So now, if you go to a personnel, you find that Priya will now be showing there as an employee. See? So we have Priya now. But note, when I was creating employee, I only created the test employee, right? But because my colleague who is Priya, his details has been previously saved on this device, the minute I connected the device to my account on Biotime Africa and made the device a registration device, it will automatically sync every existing user on the device to my personnel module as an employee. Okay, so that's what it is. So I think this is where we'll round up today's session. And we'll continue tomorrow with setting, reporting, configuring the device, how to set a non-point state and other configuration accordingly on the device. So at this point now, we want to